All right, we are back. Hopefully that is better. Everything seemed to load a lot faster.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Wonderful.
All right, we'll just kind of scratch that whole thing that we just did and we'll start over again. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the issue was.
Well, it took 2 weeks off the stream, so it just needed some time
It
to.
had a vacation and then forgot what it was supposed to
Yeah, for sure.
do.
Okay, so as we were saying, we're super excited to be talking about the new games that have been the trailers have been coming out. It's going to be released soon. Like I'm very hyped.
Me too. We were watching some of the trailers over this past week and this morning as well, and some of them just look so incredible. And there were some that I was kind of like, this might be an okay game. And then I watched the trailer and I'm like, damn, this looks really good.
They all look terrifying.
They
Like there's
do.
not one game that we'll be talking about that I'm like, I need my handheld or I definitely need like a player two.
Yes. And there is one that has a massive, well, I consider a massive multiplayer um thing to it, and I'm like really excited about that one. But which one would you like to start discussing first while I pull it up, because when I restarted my internet it shut down.
So the one that I wanted to talk about was one that wasn't announced at Gamescom, but it was a new trailer was released recently, and it's a game called Post Trauma.
Yes.
And I've been so excited about this game because it's been kind of described as if Resident Evil and Silent Hill had a baby.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I just looked at our Twitch and it said we were offline but we were live. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh no, I haven't talking to just you the whole time. Like, I love doing that, but
No, it was weird. Like it didn't catch up. There we go. Okay, Waka. Thank you for the confirmation that you hear us. It's having a
yeah.
lot. Is it about people walking into posts? I don't think so.
No, it's it's about this guy. He's like, and it's also cool because usually the characters in these horror survival games, they're not super young, but they're young-ish. And in this game, you're actually playing like an older man. Like he's
Yeah.
white hair, white beard, and I found that to be so refreshing. He's also not exactly like he has a dad bod, which I
Mm-hmm.
also found like kind of refreshing. So the character itself like was really neat.
It's a little more
But
relatable. It's not this big buff like army guy
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed that. And I loved that it's like this, it's supposed to be about this tormented train conductor. He like wakes up in this different dimension after like a really bad panic attack. And I've seen someone play the demo and the monsters look crazy. It really reminded me of Silent Hill 3 with the view. I think it's like the third person, but kind of over the shoulder as well. It was so cool.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of puzzles to it too, which is something that I enjoy with horror games. I really enjoy that kind of, panic but try to figure things out kind of aspect to it as well. So the hero is me, essentially, Rowdy. Yes, essentially.
Yeah. So I found the game, yeah, it sounds very refreshing. It reminded me so much of Silent Hill 3, and that's my favorite game of all time. And it's just a regular man just trying to make his way through this dimension, and that really spoke to me because yeah, survival horror, I always felt like games were considered survival horror, and then they would be like an army man or someone like in the military or special ops or
And
something.
they're
And
skilled. They have these special sets of skills, and they're very like they're physically fit, and that is very hard to relate to. So yeah,
Yeah, so I really like that one. So that one's top of my list, the one that I'm looking forward to the most. What about you?
Oh gosh, there's a couple. Um, I don't know, they all look so good, but No More Room in Hell 2, I'm really looking forward to. Um, because this is the one I had mentioned before. This is an 8-player co-op game. And it's kind of got a little bit of Fortnite feel to me, except instead of attacking each other, you're killing zombies. So you all spawn in different spots in the map and you're attacking zombies and just trying to fight your way through the map. And I thought that would be so much fun. Just get a whole bunch of friends together and just like, yeah, zombie Fortnite. But yeah, I thought that would be something that would be really cool to just get a whole bunch of friends together and just go slay some zombies.
Oh yeah. And there's something to mention in No More Room in Hell too, is that it is permadeath.
Yes,
So if your character dies, then
you're
that's
done.
it. You do not come back.
There's no reviving
Yeah.
you. You're done. You're done. Um, but there's a couple here that are all very, very similar to each other. Um, because they're made by the same creator. So Little Nightmares 3 is coming out, which I still need to finish playing 1 and 2. I really want to finish playing 1 and 2. But Little Nightmares 3 is coming out, and you follow the path of Lo and Alone as they and you're trying to lead them out of this like this nowhere place. And it reminds me a lot of the game of It Takes Two, except a horror version, right? Because you need two players, and if you play solo, you'll have an AI that plays with you. But you have to have two people because you have to be able to help each other. You can't like one person stands on a trigger plate while somebody else gets across, and then you have to figure out how to get the other person across. And I thought that was such a cool idea for a horror game.
Yeah, I think so too, because I there is a new age of co-op horror that's coming out. Like it feels like if you love co-op horror, then you are eating so well.
Yes, yes. And co-op horror, I feel like co-op horror is a lot of fun because of the fact that like you kind of feed off each other's fears. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just it's I don't know if it's more intense necessarily, but it's a lot more fun.
I think I would definitely make a game like that intense because my I have a very fast fight or flight and I am flighty. So if you're trying to get away from something, I'm already running.
Yeah.
So
And I'm probably going to be sitting there going, "Wait for me to come back. You need to press the lever for me to come
yeah,
back."
I can see that
I
happening. Just
could
like
so see that happening.
yeah, that's why I can't play It Takes Two because I know that. Well, I don't think there's anything scary in that game, so
No.
at least you can rest easy knowing that.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of a more fun like I think it's a husband and wife that are like traveling through and you have to help each other. I haven't played it, I've seen people play it. But when I was looking at Little Nightmares 3 and I was watching the trailer for this and I was watching how you had to help each other, and if you play by yourself you get assigned an AI character that will help you. I thought, "Oh, this looks like this could be it could be just absolute chaos." Just absolute chaos. Sometimes the
oh
screams of
yeah.
others make make me more scared than the game. I totally agree. Sorry, I haven't gotten my glasses in yet, so I can't see shit. But yeah, I totally agree with that, Waka.
That's so true. I think that I've probably almost gotten Waka to scream just because I have screamed at something in a game.
Yeah, especially if somebody screams at something and you don't know why they're screaming, you have no idea what's going on. So then you're more tense because you're like, well, they saw something or something happened and I don't know what it was. So I'm freaking out. I get that panic mode. And sometimes I fight, sometimes I flight, sometimes I just freeze. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
one of those three.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
but another one that I wanted to mention that is similar to Little Nightmares 3 because it's made by the same people is called Reanimal. And this is a brother and sister that are going through hell, and it's made the same way Little Nightmares is, right? So like the same viewpoint, it basically looks exactly like Little Nightmares. But your brother and sister going through hell to rescue your friends, and it can be played solo or co-op. Um, but it really puts an emphasis on like the tension and the atmosphere. And then what was cool about this game is that you have the main path of the game, but then there's also other parts of the journey you can discover as well that each has its own story. So I thought that my first thought was that would be great for replayability.
Oh, I definitely agree. The thing that with Reanimal and Little Nightmares 3 is, to me, I hope it's not like this, but it looks like it's shared screen, which means the chaos is
Yes.
even greater. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the edge of the screen trying to run and you're trying to do something on the other side,
Yep.
I, I could see you'll
My
be frustrated with me.
my issue with split screen is that I often confuse my screen for the other person's screen, and I will be watching them going, "Why am I not moving? Why am I? Oh, because that's not my screen," and I've just walked off a cliff or something, and so split screen can cause some issues.
See, I'm the opposite because the shared screen makes me confused. And I'm like, wait, which one am I? And I'm like
Yes,
running and they're both running. And I'm like, okay, I still don't know which one I am. And so I'll miss jumps, I'll miss all kinds of things. Like,
I think both
yeah.
ways it could be very confusing depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It looks like on Steam's page, at least for Reanimal, it says and then also split screen co op. So I guess maybe
maybe you can
if
choose.
I hope so. Like maybe if it's local, you're doing shared, and if it's online, it's split.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because I didn't even think about that. It was just I was very excited about like the like having to help each other kind of aspect to it because I think that's really cool, but I never really stopped to think about the screens and how because I think either way I would be confused. I get
Yeah,
confused
'cause
very easily.
you
Those
don't play a lot of co-op games like that, do you?
I don't. Usually I if I'm playing like co-op horror games, it's usually something like Phaz where I'm doing kind of my own thing and everybody else is doing their own thing. I don't do a lot of either split screen or shared screen because I don't know, I just haven't. But I do remember when I used to do split screen games, they confused the hell out of me. And I would always get myself killed because I was thinking that I was on the other screen and I couldn't figure out why my character wasn't doing what I wanted them to do. And then come to find out on the other screen, I was like jumping off a cliff or into a pit of lava or something because I
Uh, yeah, split screen doesn't really confuse me that much if the characters are different. Like the last one I played was Resident Evil 5, and I played that on stream.
yeah.
Um, the person I was playing with was I forget the characters' names, but he was the guy and I was the girl, so it was very obvious like who I
Yeah.
was.
That makes it better. That but if they're very similar characters, sometimes it's really difficult.
Yeah, for sure. But I saw the trailer for Reanimal. I watched it probably like 3 or 4 times because it was the one that looked the scariest, even though it's very similar to Little Nightmares 3.
It looks a lot
There were just,
scarier than Little Nightmares 3. You've got more things chasing
yeah,
you and stuff. Yeah.
the monsters, like these giant animal type creatures, they looked so scary.
Yes, because in Little Nightmares, typically you might see a little bit of whatever's chasing you here and there, but you don't typically see it all that much. Whereas in Reanimal, you are seeing these things that are chasing you, and you're trying to escape them, and you're barely getting through. And it does it looks terrifying.
Yeah, I am ready and not ready for it at the same time.
We're gonna have to play, we're gonna have to start making a list of these co-op games that we're gonna play together because there's been so many that we're like, oh, I can't wait to play this.
Oh yeah, I even though I'm not really into permadeath, I'm a little bit interested in Normal Room in Hell too, just because it's an 8-player co-op,
Yes.
so that you can get all kinds of friends. I can't even imagine
That
8 players trying to kill zombies.
it's gonna be crazy. And like you all spawn in different areas of the map, so you're not spawning together. And then and it the game looks really good too as far as like graphics and stuff. It looks amazing. And you're just running through the city and you're just killing zombies and trying to survive and it sounds really awesome.
Yes, it's like the first time that I've seen permadeath, and I was like, well, maybe the game will be super fun. I can't like I see chaos being like 4 people spawn somewhere where there's nothing happening, and then the other 4 spawn and they're just immediately annihilated because they're just filled with zombies.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
that'll be fun to try. Um and there's a couple more here that I actually thought looked really good. Dying Light the Beast looked really good. I haven't played any of the other Dying Lights, but um because this one was intended to be a DLC. But they after 2 years of working on it, they decided that they were just going to make it its own standalone game, and it's another zombie game. Um, and apparently, from what I read, it's like takes place between Dying Light 1 and 2, where you have that main character whose name escapes me right now. Um, and you're in Castor Woods and you're trying to you've escaped after enduring 13 years of experiments, which sounds absolutely awful. Um, and then you're also fighting not only against like the zombies and stuff, but people. There's some people trying to hurt you. There's some people that are willing to help you, and you can. This is also a solo or co-op game with up to 4 players. But this looked like a really good game. It's got parkour in it and combat and everything like that.
So I did play the first Dying Light, and that game was terrifying because whenever you were going out while it was sunny outside, it was fine. There might be like 1 or 2 zombies. And then when it became dark, things went crazy.
Yeah.
Like huge mutated zombies would come out. You would just be almost overrun. And there was a lot of parkour. And that one you could play with a friend as well.
Hmm.
So I was playing with someone, and it was kind of funny because they made it to where we were trying to go, and then I just like could not do it because I didn't know where I was going. I got lost very fast.
Yeah.
I just remember being terrified just because, yeah, there were just so many zombies. So I can't imagine like what it would be like to play with 4 friends. That just I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's I was reading comments on this game on the trailer for this game, and people were very excited because this main character, and it's gonna drive me crazy because I can't think of his name. I had it written down and now I can't find, but the main character, they're like, oh, he's back, I'm so excited. And people are really seem to be really excited to kind of play as this character again and discover more of his story. And I just thought that was just a really cool, and I love the fact that it was supposed to be a DLC, but they worked so much on it. They're like, yep, we're just gonna make it its own standalone game. I thought that was pretty cool because there's so much content in it that they were like, this is just too much for a DLC.
Oh yeah. Was the main character's name Kyle?
Yes, that was it.
Kyle Crane.
Kyle Crane. And
Yeah.
I saw on my notes, I saw Castor Woods, like, and I was like, wait, that's not his name. That's the name of the town. And I was like, what was
Yeah.
his name? I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, I
Uh,
looked it up just because I just had to know.
yeah, it was driving me nuts, and I don't know why it's not in my notes, but whatever. But yeah, so you've got zombies, you've got these massive creatures, and then you've got people as well. So like you're not safe in any aspect at all.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but whenever I play a zombie game, the zombies are kind of, they're predictable to a degree, so it's very easy to get around them. But it's the humans that actually scare me the most in zombie games.
It is, yes. I love zombie games because now if you get overrun with them, you're screwed. But like to be able, they are very predictable and they're very slow. So like you know, if you do it right, you can get around them. But especially when you don't know who you can trust and who you can't. Some of these people are trying to help you, but some of them they want to kill you. So like what are you going to do? And how do you know which ones are which? And I think that adds another layer of stress to the game.
Yeah, and so the zombies in Dying Light were not slow. There were some, I guess there were some normal slow ones,
Well, they
but
yeah,
there were a lot of sprinty boys.
so I've noticed some games have made zombies pretty fast. But you know, in my head I always imagine zombies as being slow. In Resident Evil they're pretty slow. But I do know that there are some like what do they call them? They're like I don't know, specialty zombies that are just super fast and those are a pain in the ass because I can't shoot moving targets to save my life. So if they're fast, I'm screwed.
Well, then you will have a lot of fun in Dying Light.
And then I just yell at them a lot. Like, stop chasing me. Like, they're going to listen to me. They typically don't. Um, but yeah, it looks like a really cool game.
Yeah, it does. I do think it's very interesting that it started out as DLC. I guess it became a much bigger project, so that's
Mm,
why they made it a standalone game.
yeah. They
And I love that it's co-op. I love co-op games so much.
I was going to say a lot of these games that are coming out I've noticed have been co-op. There's very few that are just you know, one player game. Like I believe Post Trauma is one player.
Hmm.
And there's just very few that I've noticed that are coming out like that. There people are focusing a lot more on the co-op, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that people have caught on to, that now people, especially after COVID, I think people want to play a game with their
Yeah.
friends. And so more places or more companies are coming out with these co-op games, and I think they caught on to that, like, oh, we want community, we want connection, so we want to make people scream with us.
Yes, yes. And as we talked about before, sometimes it can be more terrifying with your friends. And it's fun to scare your friends as well. So it's,
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
I'm terrible. Sorry, I didn't say that out loud. But anyways, yeah, I do love and I love the games where, you know, you have to rely on each other to get through it. So it's not just like, you know, you have to work together. Otherwise, you're not going to get through. Neither one of you can get through it. And I really like that that added feeling of like not only do I have to get myself through, but I have to get my friend through as well.
Yeah, literally all of these games, if there's a co-op option, they are, I would say, going to be more on the difficult side.
Yeah. Right,
So
because you have
you
more
you really
people.
have,
Yeah.
it's, and not even just that it's more people, just that the game itself is difficult, unless they have like because they're not listing the difficulty settings. So
Mm.
if there's only one difficulty setting, I'm going to make a big assumption that it's just going to be hard.
Yep.
So you really have to trust your friends and trust that they know what they're doing. They aren't going to be like me getting lost in like a paper bag.
Oh,
So
I'm the same way. Oh my gosh. I'm like, wait, this place looks familiar. Wait, have I been here through? I don't know where I'm going. I get very easily distracted. That is my biggest issue. And so you and I playing together should be absolutely hilarious. We'll both get
it would,
lost and not know where we are.
yes, I can definitely see us both getting lost.
I'd be like, Mira, come
Um,
help me. She'd be like, I don't know where you are. I'm lost.
I'd probably be still at the beginning and not realize I am. So I did take down some notes for some other games, because maybe I wanted to put some games out there that maybe I'm not into, but I think that other people might, because like I don't even know how to say this, tormenture,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, it. is definitely it reminded me of a game, and if other people know what game, that'd be great. Please let me know. But it was where you're playing classic games. Like it looked like you were playing like on an Atari or something,
Yes.
or some old school gaming system, and you're playing a game within a game, and it's this really retro game. And throughout the actual game, the characters in that classic game start trying to come out, and some of them even make it out.
Yeah.
And so
It's
that looked terrifying.
it's very interesting. It's definitely a unique spin on a horror game. I took a look at the trailer as well, and I had mixed feelings about it as well. It was like, I don't know, like I kind of want to try it, but like I don't know.
There is a demo for that
Is
game.
there?
So if you want to play that one, you can actually play the demo. And I saw people saying, like, oh, I loved the demo. It was so good. So if you're into that game where it's more retro,
Yeah.
then I would check that one out.
Yeah, like Brady just said, sign me up for retro. Some retro games are really, really cool. Um, which it's interesting how like I'm wondering if like you have to beat the like retro game to keep the monsters from coming out, or how that works. Like how do you keep them from coming out, or how do you defeat them if they do come out? Like that's where my questions are. So I may play the demo and check that out because I'm kind of like I said, I have mixed feelings on that one.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings 'cause I'm actually not really into retro games, like the ones that are all pixelated.
Mm,
I'm not super into. I mean, I have started to play more pixelated, more like PS1 looking games, but they're like short and they're still like 3D.
right.
So when I saw this game, I was like, oh, well, I want to talk about it because if you're into that retro feel, you're into pixelated games, then you might really enjoy this one. But when you're not playing the game within the game, it's not pixelated. It's just like a normal, like you're in your bedroom.
Yeah.
So it has a nice mix. So that's what did interest me. So I might check out the demo too, just because it's different from what I'm used to.
Yeah, it kind of sparks a little curiosity. Like, like I said, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I'm like, I don't know if I'd like it or not, but I kind of want to check it out just to see what it's all about. I didn't know there was a demo for it, so I might check that out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a 3-day weekend, so I'm maybe play some games this week. Maybe check out some demos this weekend.
Oh yeah, I've been notating like what game has a demo or not. That was the only one I saw. I can see like why Little Nightmares wouldn't have a demo
Yeah,
or even like Reanimal, but this Tormenture kind of seemed like a smaller game,
yeah.
so I can see why they would have a demo. Post Trauma also had a demo, and so it's not on anymore. But when I watched it, there was like a weird multi-armed monster that was running at him, and because he wasn't like an army man or whatever, just him trying to take it down. It's definitely relatable survival horror.
Yeah, that really does sound really interesting. And I understand why they do it, but I get frustrated when demos get taken down. Like we had Bobby and Zane on a while back, and they were talking about their demo, and then a bunch of people went to download it, and they're like, "Where is it? It's gone. It's yeah, the demo. They took the demo down, and it wasn't them. It was their publishing company took it down, and then now this one has no demo as well anymore, and it's keep the demos so we can play them."
I know, especially if you don't have like a release date on your page yet. I mean, I feel like that's still demo territory.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a great way to pull people in, and I felt really bad when we did get a bunch of messages about people who wanted to play um the Chasmal Fear, and the demo was gone because we had hyped it up so much, and then it was gone, and I was like, I kind of feel bad now. But keeping the demos up, I think, is a great way to draw people into your game.
I know, yeah. Like I've seen some games where they keep the demo up even when they release the game.
Yes. Yeah, because some people want
And
to try it out before they buy it.
yeah, like I think the Devour, it's a co-op game.
Hmm.
It just got released, but you could still play the demo it is it's basically the same as the game, but like a little bit different. But it was nice to be able to play the demo, even though like it was already out. I still like it's another horror co-op game. I just wasn't sure what kind of game it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I do really appreciate it when they come out with demos and just kind of keep them around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's demos are great. Like I played a demo the other day. It wasn't a horror game. It was actually played a couple weeks ago, and I got hooked on this game, and I was like, I cannot wait till it releases. And it doesn't say when it's gonna release. It just says it'll release this year, and I'm like so like itching to play this game because I got so hooked on the demo. So keep your demos up.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I guess if they, if you have a publisher
Yeah.
that you have to interact with, I get like why you wouldn't keep it up. But
But that's what happened with Bobby and
yeah.
Zane. It was nothing to do with them. It was their publisher. They didn't even know. They The publisher said they were going to take it down like weeks before, and they didn't. So they assumed they forgot. And then he had no idea it had been taken down. So until I had said something to him, I was like, "Yo, where's your demo?" It's gone. Um,
And that's another game that's coming out. Like it's supposed to be this year,
it
right?
is supposed. I believe it's supposed to be at the end of this year. Yes. Um, a lot of these games too are either coming out the end of this year or the beginning of next, or at some point next year. They don't have, as far as I know, most of them don't have official dates. Some of them say like 2024, some say 2025, but we don't have official dates on when these are coming out yet.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
Um,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I was just say I think there was only one more we hadn't talked about yet.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly the one I was going to bring up was Haunted Bloodlines.
Yes. Wait,
So that's the other one that I was really excited about, except I'm more excited to watch it being played than to actually play it myself.
and this is one I haven't had a chance to check out yet, but reading through the notes that we had for this podcast, I'm actually kind of interested to check it out because uh, it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of maybe almost having the amnesia mechanics
Mm-hmm.
because from the way it talked about it, it kind of sounded like there was going to be a sanity meter. Like you're in this house and it said you'll have to keep your sanity up. And
Right.
so I'm just making a big assumption that your sanity matters in this game.
Yes.
And you also can't defend yourself. You are given no weapons, you're given nothing. You only can hide or run.
And that's where I'm intrigued by it because I'm like, that would be so stressful. You are completely defenseless. And that in itself is terrifying. But when in the notes here, you have written, you do not want to misjudge her presence. You put her in all capital letters, and that I was like, oh, who is she? Immediately, I'm like, I want to know who she is. Why are we running from her? Like, what's going on? Because again, I haven't had a chance to check this one out yet.
Yeah, and from the trailer, it looks like so you come the whole thing is I think you inherit this house that was in your family and so you go back to the home and you're checking it out. I think that maybe there was a death or
Mm-hmm.
like maybe a suicide because in the trailer there it shows a little girl walking up to someone who had hung themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe someone killed themselves and maybe cursed the house. And so you're walking around the home and there's a lady. She's tall, of course, pale, dark hair. She is definitely out to get you. So she chases you a lot.
So she is not a happy spirit.
Definitely not. There was a scene in the trailer where you're hiding, I think, underneath a table and she still catches you. And she looked so creepy.
That sounds. I'm gonna have to check this trailer out. This was this is the only one in here I didn't get to check the trailer out, and the first thought I had when I saw the title "Haunted Bloodlines." There's a book series that I'm reading. It's a huge book series. It's called Bloodlines, and it's about vampires. And so that was my first thought. I was like,
Oh.
oh, this could be cool. And yeah, but still, it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and it's on its Steam page, it is listed as violent and dark, and it's a
Oh,
psychological horror. So if you're looking for a game that is very dark, then I think this is a and there's a demo for this game
yay!
too.
We love demos.
Yeah, so you can play this demo. I would recommend it and also let me watch it because I'm very interested. It also there's a mechanic. So you have a sanity mechanic, but you also have a time mechanic in the game. So it looks like you can go maybe back in the past, or you can just kind of do things in the present as you are, but you can also go back in the past. It looks like you have a pocket watch. I'm not sure if that lets you travel in time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what made me the most excited. And the fact that there's a demo, of course I'm going to play it. I just hope that I don't scream or pee myself.
So you're saying you need to record you playing the demo.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Mir's channel on
Yeah.
YouTube. Go check out her YouTube channel. She plays all these horror games.
And definitely we'll be checking out because the only two that I saw had demos. If you guys are interested, it was Haunted Bloodlines and that Tormenture. It's like I can link that in uh like on Twitter or something if you want to check the demos out. But yeah,
Yeah, honestly, a lot all these games sound really, really interesting. There isn't one that I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna play this game. There are a couple that I'm like, yeah, it might be good. But I think all of these games just they're gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to try them out.
I know. And since we have time, because we kind of sped through those,
I know.
there's a game that I'm super excited about that is another like Silent Hill inspired by Silent Hill game,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't take any notes on it, but I honestly didn't think that we were gonna have time for the game. So
All right. Well, let's hear it.
yeah, it's a game called Hollow Body. And I did see the demo for this game. Unfortunately, there's not a demo right now, and that's because the game's coming out in less than 2 weeks.
Ooh,
So it's coming out. It's 12 days.
that's
It
exciting.
comes out. Yeah. And it's a tech noir survival horror short story.
Ooh.
And so it's third person, it's psychological horror. Um, it looked so scary when I saw the demo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about like I think that you're a girl who wants to find her partner who went into this like decrepit area, and so you go in there to look for her, and I think that's where the story starts.
Oh, that's interesting. I've heard the name of the game. I hadn't really looked much into it. I remember you mentioning it to me once before. Um, I did not know it was coming out so soon. So that's really cool. That's something I'll have to look into.
Yeah, it's super exciting, and it's by the same people that did same guy. It's a solo developer who did Chasing Static, and Chasing Static was another like short, not survival horror, but just regular horror.
Yeah.
And that game was so much fun. So if you that game's already out, if you want to check out his first game before you play this game, then you can play Chasing Static. I thought it was fun.
It's so funny. I've never heard of Chasing Static, and I've been looking for some new horror games to play because I tend to play the same ones over and over again, and I'm like, I need something new. So I'm gonna check these out probably this weekend because, like I said, I got the weekend. I'm not doing nothing this weekend. Um,
Yeah, 3-day
I
weekend.
know it's my kids started school this past week, and so things have been very, very chaotic. And getting up early, getting kids off to school, then getting a bunch of stuff done around the house, and I am just plain exhausted. So I plan to do nothing but play video games the whole weekend.
Same here. I definitely, so I'm very excited about all these games, but I do love playing demos. So
Hmm.
I would say if you guys want to check them out, definitely check them out. Uh, if you had to pick one game that you were the most excited about out of this list, what would it be?
Um, that's hard. I think if the one I'm the most excited about would have to be, let me see. Where is it? I have to remember them all. Hold on. Um,
Zombies.
I
Oh,
I
actually, we
think.
didn't talk about one of the games,
Oh, which one didn't we talk about?
Nightmare House.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. Yes, yes, we can talk about that one real quick.
Yes, that may change your top. So,
Yes,
because I don't know if you've ever played In Sound Mind.
I haven't, but I've heard of it. I have not played that
Okay.
one yet.
So this is by the original creators of Nightmare House and In Sound Mind. They are making Nightmare House reimagined. It's based on a Half-Life 2 mod called Nightmare House 2.
Okay.
And it looked freaking scary. It definitely reminded me of like for some reason it reminded me of Monster House, like that kids
Yep.
movie.
Yep.
So like you go into a house and the house is alive.
Right. That actually sounds really, really cool. It sounds very like unique and very interesting. And I'll have to check that one
Yeah.
out because I hadn't heard of that one and I haven't played In Sound Mind yet either. So I'm gonna have to check those out. I'm gonna keep this list and go through and check all these things out. But I think for me, for the favorites, I have it's tied between two, and I can't decide which I'm more excited about. I am super excited about No More Room in Hell 2 for the 8 player co op. I really, really want to see how that goes and how, like, just the chaos of that would be. And the other one I'm really excited about is Reanimal because I'm really, really loving the co op, help your friend out or you're not making it through kind of thing. So those are my two top games that I'm excited about.
Oh yeah. Those are some good choices. I'd say Reanimal is definitely up there for me too, just because I I'm thinking about when I think about scary games, I think about also like what would be fun
Mm-hmm.
to stream or
Yes.
to record. And I think that game would be so much fun
Yeah.
to record.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, but they all look so good and there's like I said before, there aren't any that I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to play this game at all. It looks awful, but there's some that I'm kind of like on the fence about, like I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'll give it a try. But then most of them are just they look really good.
Yeah, I'd probably say if I had to pick one that I was the least excited about would be that Tormentor game
Mhm.
because I'm not really into pixelated games, but it adding that kind of extra spice where the game, like the creatures from the pixelated game, can come into the real world.
Yeah.
That did interest me, and the fact that there's a demo means that I'm
Yes.
going to be checking it out.
Try before you buy.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's another game that I bought, and I wish that they had put what was in the actual game in the demo, and it was called Buddy Simulator.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and it was so I've that game's already been out. I played the demo and it was cool because you were playing like this text-based game and you were just talking to the computer
Yeah.
and then it starts to get like a little bit creepier and you start to do stuff around the house. But then it turns into like a turn-based RPG and um if I had known that, I would not have purchased the game because I
Right.
have no interest in playing a horror game that is a turn-based RPG. Like
Yeah.
maybe that'll like pique someone's interest and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
not me."
that does sound interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
It was surprising for sure because it started out the same way as the demo and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm loving this." And then when I started to have to like manage health and do turn-based combat, I was like, well, this is the worst because this is not what I feel like I signed up for.
It's hard when something gets thrown in that you're not expecting and that you don't particularly like, and then you're like, like this kind of sucks.
Yeah, so that's the one feedback I can give to developers making demos is please make your demo as close to like the stuff you'll see in the game as
Yes.
possible. I know you can't put the whole thing in there,
Yeah, no
but
no misleading, no hiding stuff.
yeah, like if you're gonna have some turn-based combat, put some
Yeah.
turn-based combat into the demo, just a taste.
Yeah. Yeah. Some devs are really good at, like, making sure a little bit of everything is kind of, included, so you kind of get an idea, feel for the game. That's why I prefer the longer demos rather than these really short, like 5-minute demos. The demo I was talking about that I played earlier, that's not a horror game, like it was like an hour long demo, and I really enjoyed that because I got a chance to experience quite a bit of the game and how to do things and how the mechanics work and what I'm working towards and all this other stuff. And that got me hooked on it, and I was like, yes, I want this game instead of these 5 or 10 minute demos that you just get a tiny little taste.
I know. I think that the Hollow Body demo actually went through like a pretty good chunk of a map, like the very first place that you land in.
Yep.
So when I was seeing it, I was like, oh, and I wanted to play it. And then, of course, like when I went to go download the demo, it wasn't there anymore. So,
Yeah. What was like when I played Chasm of Fear, when you watched me play that they gave a pretty good chunk of the demo. Like it was a lot. I got lost constantly and trying to figure things out. And so it really gives you an idea of what you can really expect from the game. There was a lot of combat, a lot of things jumping out at you weren't expecting and trying to kill you. And then I'm on this tiny little enclosed space and I'm getting lost. And it, but it was
yeah.
a good chunk of a demo, is what I was trying to get at. That it gave me enough idea of what the game's going to be like, how the mechanics work, what I can expect. Uh, that was a really well done demo until it got taken down.
Yeah, I thought it was a great demo because it showcased the kind of monsters you'd be encountering. It showed you like how to manage your health, how to manage your ammo, and it even gave you two possible endings to the
Yeah.
demo, which was kind of fun, but we only got the one.
I know we went to go back to try and get the two, and then it wasn't there anymore. So that
Yeah.
kind of sucked. But yeah, so we got, and I'm sure we'll be talking about these games again in the future once they do come out, and like how we enjoyed them and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So out of all these games, I am just so excited. I cannot wait for more. We definitely I can see us doing another episode closer to October because October is going to be
Yes.
like full of games coming out.
This October is fantastic time for horror games, and that's where we tend to get the most amount of horror games. It's spooky season. It's my favorite season, and and
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to all the stuff coming out in October.
Me too. So we'll definitely have to talk more about more games coming out. We'll probably be able to talk about the games that have come out because I know that at least Hollow Body's coming out in 2 weeks. So we'll be able to
Yes,
talk about that.
yes, and as we said before, we don't know when any of these games are coming out. There's no dates listed yet, but if there's any that you're interested in, wish list them, keep an eye on them, and hopefully they'll be out soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm wishlisting all of these
Me
games
too.
and buying a new computer.
I know I'm like, why are you buying a new computer?
Yeah, because like my computer is very old, and I know that I would not be able to play No More Room in Hell 2 because the graphically it looked crazy.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, I keep thinking of like a zombie Fortnite. You all just land on this map and you just go at it, and like I'm wondering if there's, stuff hidden like in Fortnite, like, you find chests and get ammo and health and stuff like that, or how it's gonna work. So I'm really, really curious about that.
Oh, I don't doubt that there would be like
I would
chests
hope so.
and things. Yeah, because like if you just started out with the level of ammo that you have and you did not
That
find
would
any more,
suck.
yeah. I don't know if anyone's seen the trailer yet for No More Room in Hell 2, but those zombies,
There are
they look like they're scary.
they're very scary, and they're very like I said, the graphics in that game are really good. Um yeah,
Yes.
and it also reminds me of there's another zombie game, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's very similar to this, where you have, you spawn in this map, and there's chests and ammo, and you're just running around killing zombies. And I can't for the life of me think of the name, but it's also it's a really fun game.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Zombies we're gonna watch the trailer of Zombies after this. There's a lot of zombies around here. There's zombies are taking over the horror gaming experience at this point. But who
Yeah,
doesn't
they
love a
really are.
zombie? I mean, come on. Zombies are awesome. We need to get some vampire games. I'm a huge fan of vampires. We need to get some vampire games.
Oh yeah, that would be so much fun. And that is and also like Eldritch stuff. That's why I'm excited about Chasmal Fear is
Yes.
because it seems like there's going to be some Eldritch horrors in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that game's coming out like I don't he didn't give us an exact date, but it kind of seemed like they're trying for October to come out during spooky month.
Yeah, I think they're trying to at least do something for October, but I know right now it just says Q4, but I think it's just supposed to be out at the end of this year. So at some point
Hopefully
towards the end of this year, hopefully
maybe
soon.
another demo.
That would be nice. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
Or
Because
put the
I
demo
told
back.
Bobby, I said it's so sad because I got all these messages of people that wanted to play the demo and it wasn't there. Like hint, hint, hint. Put the demo back.
Yeah.
But again, I know it wasn't their fault. It was they weren't the ones that took it down. So I mean, it is what it is. But
Okay, well, we
we've gone
covered a
way over our
lot.
time. I love talking. I love talking horror games, as we did cover a
Yeah, me
lot.
too. Yeah, we covered a lot of games. I'm excited about all of them. I know I said I was excited about Reanimal, but the one I'm the most excited about in the list, at least, was Post Trauma.
Yes.
I know that Silent Hill 2 is getting a remake, but I don't think my computer can handle it. But it can probably handle Post Trauma. Post Trauma looked a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm excited the most about that one. I'd say, yeah, I hope that it comes out with a demo again, if it's going to be like Q4,
Yeah.
Q1 of next year.
Demos are
And
definitely helpful.
yes, and I can't wait for October so we can talk about all the games coming out then. Hopefully, a lot of indie games.
I am so excited. This is, like I said, this is my favorite time of the year. I literally decorate my house in spooky stuff all year round because it's just that I love when like Spirit Halloween opens because that's where I get all my decor from. So like they're open now, and I'm like I went and I got a coffee mug, all kinds of stuff. So this is like my favorite season. I love it. I love the horror games that come out, and it's just I'm very excited.
Me too.
Waka says so much to cover, and I'm sure even more in the coming month for October. Absolutely. We're
Absolutely.
totally here for it. We're ready.
Ready and willing.
No more
Yeah, I'm
construction
scared.
going on in my house, so we should be good. Like the bathroom's getting painted as we speak, so we should we should be good with no more cancelings. Again, I apologize for the last 2 weeks. I just didn't want you guys to have to sit and listen to all the noise that was going on upstairs. So, but yeah, that's all done with now.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I guess we're good to go.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you heard of some games that you want to check out as well. Um, and yeah, we will see you guys next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.